All right, I think I am live. Welcome, Gemini 2026. You want to know about your love, money, and career? I don't like when there's crumbs on the table. I always feel like there's something here, but I think that's just like how it's glued. Unless that is a sticker. Let's use a card to pick at it. I think it is just a sticker. You're going to have to deal with it. Okay, Gemini. We are already into the next month. You've been waiting so patiently to hear what's going on in your life. I think if I keep this too close, I might be like shouting into the microphone, but if I keep it too far away, it's not enough. But I like keeping it like this because can you hear me? You can disconnect, remove. I'm not trying to disconnect. I'm trying to stay on here the whole time, which I thought I was doing. If my audio goes in and out, you're going to have to bear with me while it reloads because there's no other choice. All right, let's talk about money, Gemini. I know you guys are really good at making money, figuring out new ways to make your money, how you're going to do it. You're really good at your careers. So there's no doubt that your money is ever really problematic, but maybe you're young and you need to know, can you take care of what's coming up this month? All right, we're going to just, oopsies, do a few little. All right, what's the card saying for money, Gemini? What's going on with your money read? An upright 5 of swords, conflict, disagreement, competition, defeat, winning at all costs, sneakiness, bullies, theft, and abusive relationships. Look, I like when I get the candle in this direction. It feels a bit more in tune with what's going on with us here. So I think going on with your money, this has been coming up for Geminis. I've noticed recently, so this is also me just channeling some messages. Gemini's money seems to be coming from a toxic work environment. You might have picked up a new job or things that might have changed in your own career, that the money that you're making now has strings attached. It's not, yeah, it's clean money, but you're clearly sacrificing a lot of your self-esteem and your inner peace to deal with something. To have defeat, winning at all costs, conflict, sneakiness, bullies, and theft. I mean, something's going on behind the scenes, and it's at the cost of you, Gemini. And that's not good with your money. We keep looking for clarity about this. It's telling me that the 8 of Pentacles has some type of self-development, because again, it's reversed 8 of Pentacles here. There's self-development. You're uninspired. There's no passion, no motivation. So I think you're at a dead end. You're at a dead end with your job, and clearly there's some kind of problems with your job. So I know this isn't a money career, or I'm sorry, this isn't your career read. This is your money read. But when it comes to money, it's telling me that you're kind of in this dead end position and that there's some uninspired situations happening. What else is going on with your money, Gemini? You have the 6 of Cups reversed. You seem to be living in the past, so you're forgiving, but you're not having any kind of playfulness. And I've never heard a Gemini not be playful, so the lack of playfulness is a problem. You're trying to move forward. You're clearly leaving home. Hello? Sorry, for some reason my microphone gives in and out. Hello? Testing. Let me see if I can just... I'm still live. I don't know. I might have to use a software or something to figure it out. Hello? I think this should be as good as it's getting. Okay. So that's what it's giving for your money. Your money is at a stagnant situation. You're trying to move forward. You're trying to do more with it. But I just see you being stuck, and I see people using your money against you. So next month isn't all that fun. I think you're in a standstill with your income. So let's talk about your love before we go on about anything else. Usually I do your love first before I go on about your money and career, but I just wanted to get your money out there. Let's see what's going on with your love, Gemini. How's your love in the month of August? Okay, I'm gonna shuffle these cards a few times, get some energy going. Transition out all that financial talk. Just gonna flip the cards a couple times and really spice it up a bit. See what else we can read out of your love life, Gemini. What's going on for Geminis in the month of August 2026? Tell me about your love life. Your love life. Your love life. Your love life. I want to know all about Gemini's love. Who are they shacking it up with? Tell me something sexual. Tell me something celibate. Ooh, dumping cards out here. But I want to know. I want to know something outside of finances and career and education. I'm a little snoopy doopy. What's going on with your love? I don't care if you're in a stale marriage. This could be, let's talk about singles and we'll talk about taken. How about that? We'll break it up because maybe, you do care if there's a stale marriage. So I'm tossing cards over here. We'll talk about singles first and then we'll move over to the taken portion for Gemini. Okay. Gonna flip this. Ooh, it's gonna toss over on me. This is taken. What's going on with taken Geminis right now? I have the Fool. It's the Fool upright. So taken, okay? People that are in a committed relationship, you seem to be having some type of new beginning, possibilities with this person. You're feeling really spontaneous, innocent, very optimistic with this person, okay? They give you a lot of pleasure. And there's some blind faith. If I could keep getting clarity out of this, you have the Five of Wands reversed. So by being with them, you avoid conflict. You end up just agreeing to disagree, and you do respect the differences of each other. So there is some diversity going on, but you have a really good love life. You guys that are taken, you have solace within each other. And I think the love that you have really holds to it. I don't want to mess with this any further. To me, it's saying that you enjoy this person. It's a lot of adventure and blind faith and opportunities. And if I kept reading into this person, it's somebody that respects your differences. They're a bit diverse. There's someone who avoids conflict with you. They seem to just agree to disagree, or you might be doing the same. That's for Gemini with the taken in their love life. Let's see. What's going on for Gemini singles? Gemini singles in the month of August. Can we read any further? All right, singles. I'm going to cut the deck. We'll read it like this. For singles, Gemini, you have the Strength card upright. You're feeling pretty courageous. You have some passion, maybe subtle power in some type of situation. You're very persuasive, influential. You have some inner strength, so you're very focused. And most of all, you have some compassion, which I really like. You're very in tune with yourself, single Geminis. The Seven of Wands reversed. You're a bit exhausted when it comes to love. I think you're giving up with relationships. It says you've destroyed confidence and you're super overwhelmed. Mostly you're overprotective, whether it's your own space or the person that you really liked, but it's just not worth your energy. When you're by yourself and when you're completely single, you have a lot of passion. You feel really good and influential. But the second you try to think about the person you want to be with, you're exhausted. You exhausted that avenue. You're giving up. You're just destroyed about it. How could Gemini know who this person is, okay? The Nine of Cups upright. This was somebody who had a wish come true with you. They were very content, super emotionally stable, very gracious. They could have came from a bit of luxury or wanted that out of you. They were satisfied, but you just were exhausted. They were not your cup of tea. You gave up because it was fucking with you. You just weren't into it, and they were. That was the bottom line. That's kind of why you're staying single at the moment, Gemini. That's what I'm reading out of your love life. Okay. We took a pause on your money to talk about love. Love with singles, love with relationships. What else can we hear with the love? Well, no more love. We're done with love before I jinx myself here. Let's talk about your career. What's going on in your career? And this can be career and education. I usually try to break it up, but when I say career, it is the umbrella of education too. If you are in college, if you're taking some kind of higher education, that's how I see career reads. Full-time students to full-time workers, what can you tell me for the month of August? People are going back to school, parents are going back to full-time work, kids are very busy, so I'm sure Geminis are just as involved. Gemini, August 2026, what's going on with your career? Let's break this up one more time. All right, let's cut it and reverse it. We cut it, we reverse it. This is your love, or oh, excuse me, as I keep talking about love, apparently. Let's just give a love card because this is the second time I said love. What's going on with your love? I don't care if you're single or taken. Something wants me to talk about your love, so we're going to say it because I've obviously been tongue twisted twice with this love shit. We're going to pull this card out and then we're going to go right back into your career. Love for Gemini. You have the Six of Pentacles upright. You want to give, or somebody's trying to give to you. I'm not sure who's this for. Usually when I pull a card, I want to read this as if you're doing this, because again, I like to give you the advice. I don't read just to read. But if I were to read as if this was your person, hypothetically, they could be giving or receiving. There's sharing wealth, there's generosity, there's charity. So this is actually a really great love pull, a random love pull, but I kept messing up to talk about love. My phone microphone, God bless us. So anyways, I keep seeing that you are just giving and receiving. There's generosity, there's charity here. So your love looks really good if you're just channeling this kind of message, if you can relate to this in some way. I just really received a great love read that I wanted to share with you. But let's keep moving. We're going to talk about your career. So we're just going to break this up a few times and rotate it. Okay, career for Gemini. Oh my, the devil upright. Your career again. Shadow, self, attachment, addiction, restriction, sexuality, temptation, seduction, destructive behavior, materialism, codependency, and toxicity. August, you don't really have the best love. Or, oh my gosh, why do I keep saying love? Look at those two lovers. Your work is fucking with your love life. That's clearly what this boils down to. Your money was also abusive, and your love was absolutely gorgeous, but your career is just as nasty. What can this tell me about your career, Gemini? Okay. You have the Hangman reverse. So there's some delays. You're stalling. You feel sacrificing. There's no control. There's resistance. So whatever you're doing in your career, you're in a really tight spot. You feel really stuck in your career. August is not a fun month when it comes to money and career, but thankfully your love life is looking good. What kind of solution can I give Gemini? The Two of Pentacles upright. So what you really need to do is there's some multiple priorities, and if you have some time management and adaptability, you can really balance out all of your choices, all of your decisions. That's how you're going to sort out your career. Time management and balance, Gemini. You don't have anything else funky. I don't want to keep pulling out anything more that can skew with your read. Your money, you had money. There's flow of money, but there was some kind of conflict, some kind of tension with that income. Your love life looked absolutely splendid from single to taken. I wasn't worried about it. Even when I kept channeling a love card, it was absolutely fabulous. And when we do your career again, I mean, look at this. Your career has some kind of tension, toxicity, bullying, theft. The only way around it is to manage your time and to just focus on yourself. Look at that lonesome decision that this guy's doing, okay? So let's do all the way from Aries to Pisces. What can you provide to Gemini? What is something you can share with Gemini? I'm going to keep the cards exactly the way they are. I'm not going to shuffle them any more than what I'm doing. I think the top split is perfect enough. Okay? So we'll go Aries, Taurus, Leo, Cancer, Gemini. Oh my God, why did I say Leo? Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Okay, I have it all strewn across the table. This way you know I'm not messing with none of them. I'm telling you straight up what's going on. Gemini, if you're dealing with an Aries, the answer is yes, okay? There's courage, there's passion, there's persuasion. Whatever you're doing with this Aries Gemini is a yes. They like you. If you're dealing with a Taurus, I'm also getting a yes. You have a Chariot, there's movement, there's progression, there's willpower. There is also departure, but there's some courage coming out of it. If you're dealing with a Gemini, you have the Eight of Wands reversed. It's a yes, but there's delays. You're frustrated. There's holding off and waiting. You're going to have to slow down, which makes you panic with that Gemini, okay? The Cancer is a yes. You have the Knight of Swords upright. There's ambition, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast thinking, and defending beliefs. Gemini, if you're messing around with what am I on? Look at how I have to do this. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Gemini. If you're messing with a Leo, you have the Four of Pentacles upright. The answer is no. Okay. There's something about them saving money. They need to get some security control. They're very frugal right now. So if you're trying to mess with the Gemini, resources are super tight. I mean, even if you want to provide for them, it's just going to make them really insecure. So watch out with that, Leo. Virgo, Gemini. Your Virgo's at a maybe. You have the Hermit crab. You have the Hermit reversed. So they're feeling a bit isolated. They're lonely and they're withdrawing from you. There's some resignation and distance, okay? So they've lost their way when it came to being with you, Gemini. That's what Virgo's going on about. Libra. The answer is yes. You have the Six of Cups upright. So with the Libra, Gemini, you feel some familiarity, happy memories. You're reminiscing with them. They feel some like childhood memories. If not, you can bring out that childhood inside of them, that inner child. They have innocence and joy and nostalgia with you. So Libra really likes hanging out with you, Gemini. Scorpio is the King of Cups reversed. It's almost a yes, but it's cold. There's nothing good coming out of it. They're emotionally manipulative, super moody. It's a self-compassion and inner feelings. This is very much a Scorpio, so I wouldn't rely on them, Gemini. Very dealing with my microphone. Welcome. So self-love, disharmony, imbalance, misalignment. Ooh, you hear a loud truck coming by? Suffering, detachment, conflict, bad choices, fear of committing. They don't want to stick with you, okay? It is the Geminis getting out of the Sagittarius. I wouldn't really stick it too far to a commitment with these people. Gemini, if you're with a Capricorn, the Capricorn is a yes. You have the Justice upright. There's somebody that's super fair. There's clarity, there's equality, balance, cause and effect. They're very lawful, okay? I like reading that. If you have the Aquarius, if you're dealing with an Aquarius Gemini, I'm getting a no. It's the Ten of Wands reversed. They seem to feel like they're doing it all, like they're carrying the burden. They don't want to have to keep doing this delegation. They're releasing it because they're super burnt out and way too overstressed. So Aquarius is a no-go in the month of August. Lastly, Gemini, if you have a Pisces on the horizon, I'm getting the Five of Swords upright. They're pretty conflicted themselves. They feel defeated with competition, disagreements. They want to win at all costs. So they're super sneaky. I'm getting bullies, theft, and abusive relationships again. And that's what I hear for Gemini in the month of August 2026. Thank you for listening. See you next month. Bye.